Today, we are diving into some serious brain power-ups. We're going to look at the science behind two really interesting supplements that might just help protect our most important organ. Let's get right into it.
Oh, you know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You get introduced to someone and their name just evaporates. Or you walk into the kitchen with a mission and poof, the thought is just gone. It's so frustrating, and it makes you wonder, what is actually going on up there?
Well, here's a cool way to think about it. Your brain is a superhero. Seriously. Every single second, it's fighting these invisible battles to keep you sharp, to protect your memories, and to help you learn new things. It's this epic, nonstop fight that's happening right inside your head.
So, okay, if our brain is the hero of the story, then every hero needs a villain, right? Let's pull back the curtain and meet the arch enemies our brain is constantly up against.
First up, let's talk about the rust monsters. Now, this is just our fun name for what scientists call oxidative stress. Just imagine tiny particles causing damage over time, kind of like how metal gets rusty. It slowly wears down and ages your brain cells.
So how do these rust monsters actually attack? Well, these little troublemakers, called free radicals, are like tiny wrecking balls. They literally slam into the protective walls of your brain cells. They mess with the healthy fats that are supposed to keep your neurons safe, and they even weaken your brain's own internal cleanup crew.
All right, our next villain is a little sneakier. The metal meddlers. See, your brain needs certain metals like iron and copper to function properly. But when there's an imbalance and you've got too many of them just floating around, they start to cause some real chaos.
And what kind of chaos are we talking about? Well, these rogue metals can kick off these harmful chemical chain reactions. They can actually damage important proteins, kind of bending them out of shape so they can't do their job. They can even get in the way of your brain's messaging system, basically scrambling the signals.
And that brings us to our final archenemy, the fire starters. This is what we're calling chronic inflammation in the brain. Now, a little bit of inflammation is good. It means you're healing. But when that system is always switched on, it's like having a constant low-grade fire smoldering in your brain, and that can damage the circuits for memory and learning. Here's how they spread that trouble. They send out these tiny alarm signals called cytokines that put the brain's immune cells on permanent high alert. When those immune cells get overactivated, they can start causing damage to healthy tissue. This whole process can even make crucial proteins get all sticky and stiff, basically gumming up the works inside your brain.
Okay, rust monsters, metal meddlers, and fire starters. That sounds like a pretty tough fight. But hey, every superhero needs a sidekick, right? Luckily, science is looking into some pretty interesting backup.
Let's meet two potential heroes. On one side, you've got Carnosine, who we're going to call the Bodyguard. Think of it as a powerful all-around defender. And on the other side, we have Fisetin, the brain builder. It's more of a specialist, focused on building and strengthening the brain's network. Two very different heroes with two very different strategies.
Let's dig in with our first hero, Carnosine, the master of defense. So how exactly does this Bodyguard go about protecting our brain?
Well, it has a really clear 4-point defense plan. Step 1, put up an antioxidant shield. Step 2, establish metal control. Step 3, provide signal support. And Step 4, act as a calming force. Let's break down what each of those means.
First up, that antioxidant shield. This is Carnosine's direct answer to the rust monsters. It can literally zap those damaging free radicals on the spot. It also helps protect the fatty outer layer of your brain cells to keep them safe, and it even gives a power-up to your brain's own natural defense team. Next, we've got metal control. To take on those metal meddlers, Carnosine basically acts like a magnet. It latches onto those stray metal ions and takes them out of circulation so they can't cause any more trouble. This is huge for keeping important proteins in their correct working shape. Now, for its signal support power, think of Carnosine as a master traffic controller for your brain's communication network. It helps manage the brain's main go signals so things don't get too overexcited. It also supports the key chemical messenger for learning and memory and might even have an influence on your mood. And finally, its role as a calming force against those fire starters. Carnosine can help cool down those inflammatory alarm bells. It tells the brain's immune cells to chill out a bit so they don't overreact. And it helps prevent that protein stickiness we talked about, which is so important for keeping cells running smoothly. So where does this Bodyguard even come from? Well, here's a fun fact. Carnosine is mostly found in foods like meat and fish.
And what that means, according to the research, is that people on plant-based diets might naturally have lower levels of it.
All right, time to meet our second hero, Fisetin, the brain builder. Now, if Carnosine is all about playing defense, Fisetin is all about going on offense. It's about proactively making the brain's network stronger.
But before we can see how Fisetin works its magic, we have to talk about this incredible idea called synaptic plasticity. I know, it sounds super technical, but it's really not. It's just the brain's amazing, almost magical ability to physically change and rewire itself as you learn and have new experiences. Strengthening these connections is literally how we make memories. So where does Fisetin fit in? Well, its superpower is basically to supercharge this entire process. I love this slide because it's the perfect analogy. Think of Fisetin as Miracle-Gro for your brain cells. It helps boost a key protein called BDNF, and what BDNF does is help your neurons grow, survive, and most importantly, form strong, lasting connections with each other. So we've met the villains, and we've met two potential sidekicks that science is exploring, but every superhero story has a final, crucial mission. And in our story today, that mission comes down to your responsibility. And this, without a single doubt, is the most important thing to hear today. The source material is crystal clear on this. Neither Carnosine nor Fisetin is an FDA-approved treatment for anything, especially not memory loss. You should always talk to a doctor or another healthcare professional before you try any new supplement. This is all about understanding the science, not getting medical advice.
We've gone through this epic battle that's happening inside your head. We've met the bad guys and some potential good guys. But at the end of the day, the story of your brain's health is one that you are the main author of. So the real question is, what are you going to do to help your story become a bestseller? Thanks for tuning in.